Like, what is the public, what is the, like, the general public perception of what agents do? You know, people are on Zillow. They're like, I don't need an agent to find property. I find property on Zillow. And when I'm ready, I reach out. I just need somebody to open the door for me and obviously like do the paperwork. Like
Right.
that's like, if we're really being like, let's be really transparent. Like that's the perception of the community out there. And yet, what's our biggest opportunity? Because the consumer doesn't know what they don't know, correct?
Right.
Right. So what's our opportunity?
Can I piggyback into that, Matt?
Yeah, dude, go for it.
So over the weekend, one of the guys that we were hunting with is a local contractor, on a smaller scale contractor, but does pretty well for himself. And he actually kind of went on a little bit of a rant. And he's a nice guy. I know him really well, and I've hunted with him a bunch of times. So he wasn't like trying to be an asshole to me, but he was just like, well, I don't like realtors, and I get on a soapbox like if you sell my house and you're just going to get 30 grand and all you have to do is walk somebody through the house. And I was like, just kind of let him go for a minute, because you can't interrupt and expect that they're going to understand what you're saying.
Right.
Just kind of let him go for a minute. And then it seemed like there was a little bit of a lull, and he looked at me like he wanted me to answer. And I just said, well, that's looking at my job like this. And he just kind of sat back for a second. I was like, as a former contractor, what if I just said, you know what? All you do is text message your subs and tell them to get to work. You don't really do anything else to build the house. Like, right? You just text your subs, and then all of a sudden there's a house there. And he's like, well, no, there's a lot. And I was like, okay, stop. Okay. So I'm doing this to you, right? You're doing this to me. He just kind of sat there for a second, he wasn't going to concede the point, but it got through, right? To like get that sort of like, you need to have a full understanding of what it is we do, in the same way that Mike was like, I got to get connected with this gal and help her understand the value prop I have, the service level that I provide. Because if she sees that, then she won't think of it from a transactional standpoint, right?
Right.
Yep. Yep. When, especially with leads coming in, right? We have our number one opportunity is to connect and find out what they need most, and then help them educate how we deliver, right? And all of the moving parts. If we get excited and jump to open a door, then what do they think our number one value is?
Opening the door.
Opening the door. And once we've opened the door and didn't win, how do you think they feel we did with our job? If we write an offer and it doesn't get accepted, and we didn't spend any time really identifying their needs, qualifying, learning a little bit more, going beyond the 3 Bs, right? One of my favorite ways of getting into engagement with buyers is, in our world as professional real estate consultants, we go beyond the 3 Bs, beds, baths, and budget, to find out really what your next home looks and feels like. When do you have 15 minutes to visit with me so we can save hours looking at the wrong properties? And that's a script. And they go, what do you mean? And I say, well, listen, not every house is created equal. And in your mind, inside, you have an idea of not just what the house looks like, what it's priced at, where it's located, but like what that house means to you and feels like, et cetera. Like there's more to it. And oftentimes we can help take you right to the house of your dreams when we take a little bit of time to find out exactly what it is that you're looking for. So by investing 15 minutes with me before we go out, we can save hours of looking at other properties that aren't a fit. Doesn't that sound great? Look at what you guys are doing with your heads. For those of you watching the recording, you'll be like Mike and Shane are like, yeah, that does sound great. That sounds perfect. Let's do that. So really it's about like Mike, what you said is, when she re-engaged with you is whenever you were communicating and delivering a value beyond opening doors.
Right.
So we have to set the stage and set the expectation of, okay, before we go, here's what we do and here's why. Right? There's the ABCs of closing, right? And it's not always be closing. It's action, benefit, commitment. Write that down. Action, benefit, commitment. Mike, I'm so excited that you called me because I'm really confident that in this environment, we've got some of the best tools to be able to also save you money with interest rates and get you concessions, et cetera. And in order for me to really understand what you're looking for, all we need to do is get together for 15 minutes or so, either in person or on a Zoom. And in that 15 minutes, we're going to get to go through, you're going to share with me your wish list, your needs, your must-haves, your would likes. And I'm going to get a more 3D view and an idea of what exactly that perfect home for you looks like, because we see properties all the time. And what I love to do is when I see a property after we have met and I know what you're looking for, all of a sudden when I'm in a property, I go, this one's for Mike. I can't wait to show this to Mike. And so by investing the 15 minutes today, we're going to save hours of looking at homes that just aren't a fit. Doesn't that sound great? So do you have time now? Or would tomorrow at 5 o'clock be better for us to sit down, slow down so we can speed up later? What makes sense for you, now or tomorrow? Does that make sense?
Mhm.
What's the action? The action is what?
The consult, right?
Yeah.
Figuring out what they need.
We're going to sit down. We're going to get together. We're going to ask questions. I'm going to learn a little bit more about you. And then what's the middle?
The value prop.
The benefit. What's the benefit? So I'm just like, well, why can't you just take me to the house?
Mm-hmm.
My action and benefit is I called you to open the door. So when are you going to open the door? That's my benefit.
Right.
And you're telling me what?
Let's let's hold up a minute.
But why? Why would I want to, why would I want to hold up? Because by slowing down a little bit now, we can speed up later. We can save time later. It sounds like time is important to you. Would that be right?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly why we need to just get together for 15 minutes so I can save us time in the future. Right? So you take whatever their objection is for meeting and you use that as the reason for meeting. Well, can't we just meet at the property? Can't we just, what I'm hearing from you is that time is important and you're on a specific timeline. Is that correct? And that's exactly why we should get together. Because by getting together, I can, and then I can, and if this one isn't a fit, I can have 2 or 3 more ready to go. And we could just go right to. Would that be great? Would you like that?
That's exactly what I did yesterday, which I should have done 3 days earlier.
And yet here's the thing. We get so excited that we've got a breather that somebody's on the other line that we just all of a sudden we become Pop-Tart agents. We just we just stop what we're doing. We cancel kids' plans. We don't eat dinner. We go right to it because we can't let them go. We got a live one. And yet you go, and if it doesn't work, they're like, peace out, I'm out. And what you wasted was life, core memories, etc. There's a saying that we teach oftentimes, and is that we teach people how to treat you. We teach people how to treat you. So we teach them, this is how we do this. And then we move forward. Really great aha, Mike. Thanks for sharing that. Was that helpful? Who'd like to practice the needs analysis ABC conversation? Oh, you guys just want to you guys want to do it on the lead? You want to spend $1,000 on it first? Who wants to go? I'll be easy on you.
I mean, I'll do it, but I just, I feel bad being the guy.
Let's be the guy then.
Okay.
So I'll be the lead, right? So I'm calling in, right? So ring, or it's a handoff from Zillow, or however it works with Zillow.
Yeah, I was gonna say, give me some context here. How am I getting to you?
It's an incoming buyer lead call.
Incoming. They're calling me.
Correct.
All right. So my phone's ringing.
Yep.
Let's say hello.
Hi, yeah, I was calling about the property on Silver Street. I was checking to see if maybe there's an opportunity you can show me that property. We're interested in taking a look at that one.
Perfect. It sounds like that property has some things that check boxes for you and your needs.
Yep, it sure does.
Good. Great. I appreciate your call. What was your name, sir?
My name's Matt.
Matt, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. I'm just going to take some notes here if you don't mind.
Uh-huh.
Matt, it's important to me that if I'm going to go show you that property, that I fully understand what exactly it is that you're looking for. So we make the most of our time together, make the best use of our time together. Do you think you have a few minutes right now for me just to ask you a few simple questions?
Well, we're outside of the property right now. How fast can we get in there?
Yeah, unfortunately, the way it works is we have to actually request a showing, get it approved by the sellers, and then come back and take a look at it. So it's not as simple as us just going right in.
Well, I see people getting in and out of cars here right now. It seems pretty busy.
Yep. So those people are probably already have approved showing requests.
Okay.
So we're going to want to make sure we do this formally. It's important that we make sure that we submit a formal showing, get in there, take a look at it together, and understand exactly what it is that you're looking for.
Cool.
So do you have a few minutes to answer?
How fast can we do that?
Well, it depends on how much time you have. Generally, what I like to do is spend 15 or 20 minutes just getting a feel for exactly what your goals are. Does that seem fair?
Well, yeah, right now my goal is to see this house.
Okay, that's understandable, and I can appreciate that. What is it about that specific house that interests you?
It looks really good from the outside, and
Okay.
It's in an area that's pretty close to the schools for my kids.
Okay, great. And so what can you give me the property address?
It's 127 West Silver Street.
All right, West Silver. And you said kids. How many kids do you have?
2. They're 9 and 12. They're in grade school or elementary school and middle school.
Okay, great. Are you married, Matt? If you mind me asking?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, congratulations for your marriage and your kids.
Thanks.
How long have you been married?
15 years.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. That's outstanding. And
Yeah,
so 9 and 12, your kids
deals
must be, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, she still deals with me.
Well, that's a win. Every day you wake up and that's still happening is a win, right?
Yeah.
So 9 and 12, that means your kids must be, I guess, 4th grade and 6th grade. Does that sound right?
7th. Yep, 4th and 7th. So grade school, middle school.
Okay, fantastic. That's important too, right? We want to make sure that we're getting you aligned with schools that make sense for your kids.
Yeah. Are we gonna get the schedule the showing or what?
Yeah, let's do that. But what I want to do is, again, I just want to take some time to fully understand what it is that you're looking for aside from that house. Just in the event that this house doesn't work, I can line up 2, 3, 4, 5 other houses right behind it to make sure that we make the most of your time.
Oh, okay. Well, that's actually not a bad idea, I guess.
Yeah. So what we like to do generally is if there's a house that pops up and it just blows you away and it sounds like this house does have some interest to you, we can absolutely do sort of a one-off showing schedule. But generally what we like to do is set up something called a tour. And what a tour is, it allows us to line up 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 properties, depending on how much time you have. And that way it makes the process of elimination as we move from house to house a little easier because you can compare apples to apples as we go, rather than remembering what one house looks like and comparing it to a house maybe you saw a week ago. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of the reason why I wanted to just have some time we could carve out to really fully understand exactly the type of property that you're looking for, what your budget is, the school district piece that you mentioned already. So I can take these kinds of notes and then we can look at some properties in the area that fit those specific criteria and then set up a block time where we can look at a bunch of houses together. Does that seem fair?
Yes.
So do you have time to spend that 20 minutes right now going through that, or tomorrow at 5 p.m. be better for you?
It feels like it's been 20 minutes already.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm just sort of breaking the ice on how we get through to these questions.
Right now you're breaking my back.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to make sure that I offer you the best possible service. And I think that you can appreciate that, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So what I want to do is, again, just get to know you a little bit and your family and understand what your specific needs are. And that way, as we look at properties, we can find some other properties similar to this one in the event this one isn't a good fit and look at a whole bunch of them together.
Okay. All right. Pause. Break role play. So Shane, first of all, good job. I gave you a hard time.
Yeah, well,
A hard
especially
time.
because I've never worked with a paid lead before. I'm 100% by referral, so that water was definitely a little deep.
All right. So let's just kind of have a conversation around this. And Shane's an expert. He's a pro. So I knew he could take it. And so I came at him, right? And yet, I don't know, I was pretty direct, but was I mean?
No,
No, I mean, I was like,
short maybe.
what was this client's number one need?
Get in the house he's standing in front of. I want to go in the house.
All right, behaviorally, what type of behavioral style was this lead?
Very short on time. Wanted to sort of like just be done with the conversation. Can you show me the house or not?
Okay, so if people want to work with people like them, what are some of the best ways that we can connect and convert this lead?
Being direct, factual.
Okay. So Daisy, what are some of the ways that you could have been more direct, factual, or in this conversation?
Like me personally, or point out what he did?
You personally, what would you have said or done differently?
Well, I would have kind of like what he did, I think, versus spending a lot of time about talking about your kids and, oh, what grade are they in? I would have kind of directed the conversation more towards that house. So what about that house did you like? You know, why is that one, why did that one catch your eyes, and blah, blah, blah. And then something that you did that I think I would have done too is the whole, you know, the reason why I asked so many questions about this house is because in the event that if I can find another house that's similar to your wants and needs, then maybe we can take a look at 2 or 3 houses versus just one.
Yeah, that was really good. That part was really good. Anyone else? Other ways that you would have driven this conversation? And then I can share with you a couple thoughts.
I can take it. You guys can be rough.
Duran's sitting there going, "Oh man, I don't want to talk. I don't want to even talk to any of these leads now."
Mhm. I did like how, and I didn't catch all of it, but the way you, I don't want to say converted the call, but the very first sentence you said, it's important to me that I understand what you're looking for. I can't exactly remember what you said, but I liked that. I even wrote it down. I was like, oh, I'm gonna use that.
I have a checklist that I do in my buyer consults.
Hmm.
And I tell them, hey, I've got a checklist and it's got a whole bunch of different questions because it's really important to me that we dive deep into your needs, what your goals are, those kinds of things. Then it helps them to see not only the value that we bring as a team, as a group, but also that I'm actually legitimately paying attention to what they're saying.
Right.
So really good. Some ideas, some thoughts here. So number one, you want to mirror and match. You want to mirror and match the lead. For me, it was a little too heavy on the explanation and not enough on the questions, right? So talk less, ask more. So it may go something to the effect of, it sounds like, you know, you're out in front of the property. I know that you probably were, you know, that the time is important to you. How soon were you ready? I mean, I know you're in front of the house right now, but if we can't get in right now, how soon would you be able to be in? Like, are you able to go in the next hour, or, you know, do we have to reschedule for another time tomorrow? And find out if the number one goal is to get into that house. I'm going to do everything I can to do that and connect, right? So, you know, if it's, hey, Shane, I can really respect that you're out in front of the house. So I'm going to do everything I can right now to see how quickly we can get that tour scheduled. Now, really quickly, since I have you on the phone, tell me a little bit more. How long have you been searching? What caused you to call on this property? Would you say that you're like in a position right now to, if this is the perfect house, are you guys like in a spot of, you already talked to your lender, pre-approved, ready to go? Like, are you in offer writing mode, or are you still needing more information about that too? Right? Do you have a few minutes to chat? I'd like to ask you a little bit more than just your beds, baths, and budgets, just in case this one's not a fit. We can save time by looking at properties that are a fit for you. Does that make sense? Right? So then I may go through like a very abbreviated needs analysis to find out a little bit more, right? Shane, I know that you can probably respect it. We don't just open doors, right? We're literally project managers in a transaction, and getting properties under contract is like 5% of the job. Our goal is to get you through closing, saving you a lot of money and making sure that you're protected throughout. Does that make sense? And when we get together, I'm going to be able to explain to you step by step throughout the process and keep you informed as a partner in this transaction, that if anything does come up, not only are we going to be able to know a little bit of ahead of time, if anything's going to happen, we're going to have options and solutions for you. Does that seem fair?
Outstanding.
Is that something that you would like from the agent that you choose to work with you? That's exactly why so many of our clients have left 5-star reviews from us and continually send us business, and where most of my business is by referral only. So when we meet, you'll see why.
Feel like you've done this once or twice.
Maybe a couple thousand times. Let me tell you about how many times I've been hung up on. And let me tell you how many times like, could you, I mean, let's, that's why we're on this call.
Don't practice on your paycheck.
Don't practice on your paycheck, especially if you're spending so much money on Zillow instead of generating your own. We'll help with that. Don't give Zillow your money. We can create a funnel of unlimited opportunities for you, right? So thoughts, ahas, what did you hear on this call? What did you learn? What are your biggest takeaways from today's call?
Just how to abbreviate getting and directing where it needs to go.
Okay.
I find that's a big hiccup, is like knowing the quickest, most thorough, timely route.
Okay. Yeah. And that's something you develop, right? That's you're gonna start to develop your own voice in this. However, understanding some fundamental principles around behavior, mirroring and matching, and then having a framework of action, benefit, commitment, and practicing that. And then understanding, and we can spend like a week talking about, okay, what are the 4 main behavioral styles? What do they lead with? How do you win with them? How do you lose with them? What are their biggest fears? And then what do they desire most? Just understanding that, and then modeling your action, benefit, commitment around that personality, around that behavior, allows you to get into rapport and relationship sooner and more effectively. I know it's 9:31. Give me another aha takeaway. And then on Wednesday's call, we're not going to have a call on Friday because it's post-Turkey Day, it's Black Friday. Wednesday's call is going to be about you developing and bringing up, and you're going to be able to create and craft your own Black Friday special for your database. You don't want to miss that. I promise you. Give me another quick aha takeaway from today's call, and then I'm going to drop you.
Don't be afraid to take control, even though something's in your lap. Don't get too anxious. Remember what you're trying. Remember the process that works.
They need something from us, right? So there's got to be an exchange of value. And our value is not simply opening a door.
Mm-hmm.
I like especially the part where you went into the what mode are you in? So I pride myself on being a guy that sniffs out tire kickers pretty easy. And in that little moment with you, I didn't even go there, and I should have. Like, what mode are you in? Are you in offer writing mode? You're pre-approved. You talk to your lender.
Yeah,
all that stuff squared away.
I want to match your motivation. Where are we at?
Yeah. Or are we just kind of taking a look right now? And you need some more information that I can provide.
Because if we're just taking a look, I got somebody that can show you. But if we're ready to write, it's going to be me.
Right.
Cool. Nice work. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Have an amazing day. Don't forget action, benefit, commitment. This works also on friends and family. It's like your kids. You're like, I'd like you to be home by 9 o'clock because we're going to be doing this. So can I get your commitment on being home by 9 o'clock without me having to remind you? So, all right, y'all, take care.